Greetings, travelers. I'm your host, the C.the-Knows-a-lot, Dr. Waluigi. So, if you couldn't tell by the obvious title card, yes, I'm talking about something from My Little Pony, which means that yes, I am a brony. I got into MLP by watching Friendship is Magic in high school when the show was on its third season, and I was hooked on the show till it ended back in 2019. To the point of owning a few figures, comics, and having most of the show on DVD. I'm still looking for seasons 6, 8, and 9 if you guys are curious. However, while I love Friendship is Magic, I haven't really been interested in checking out the other shows. I watched the movie for G5 and thought it was just meh. I didn't hate it, but it didn't grab me like G4, and the less said about Tails in G3, the better. But I will admit, because of reviewers like Lightning Bliss and Josh Scorcher, they got me interested in taking a look into G1, and seeing as how the first special is celebrating its 40th anniversary, I'd like to share my thoughts on this special to see if it holds up, and to see why this franchise has lasted. So, without further ado, this is my review of My Little Pony Generation 1, Escape from Midnight Castle. The show, if you couldn't already tell, was based on the toy line of the same name that was created in 1982. Eventually, with the success of the toys, My Little Pony would get its own animated specials, TV series, and a movie that was released in 1986. From this, the series has grown into a successful franchise that is beloved by both girls and boys alike, with the fourth version of the show, Friendship is Magic, being the most successful and well-known to modern audiences. As I said before, I never grew up watching this show, as it never re-aired on TV, nor was I interested in the series since the only version I was aware of as a kid was the horrendously bad G3. However, thanks to G4 and being able to find the DVD copies of the movie and series released by Shout Factory, I have since then watched all of G1 and can say that it has become one of my newest favorite 80s series for its characters, writing, and animation. The plot of this special is that the ponies of Dream Valley are under attack from an evil centaur named Tirak, voiced by Victor Caroli, who subsequently was the voice actor who did the narration in the G1 Transformers series. After he sends his servant Scorpan, voiced by Ron Taylor, to capture some of the ponies, another pony named Firefly, voiced by Sandy Duncan, goes to look for help and finds a young girl from our world named Megan, voiced by Tammy Amerson, who agrees to come to Dream Valley to try and stop Tirak and whatever his plans are. Can she stop Tirak and his army of darkness from taking over the land of ponies? And in what way can Megan help the ponies from being turned into the slaves of Midnight Castle? From this first special, I can say that the cast is pretty impressive for the time period. I don't recognize too many of the actors in this, but I think that they each do a fine job for their respective roles. I especially loved Tirak, as he's one of the most terrifying villains I've seen, especially for an animated series that was targeted to girls. Keep in mind that, much like many boys' cartoons of the time, girls' cartoons were only made to sell toys, and while there were some animated series that did try to make girls as strong as boys, like with Sailor Moon and Magic Knight Rayearth, most girls' cartoons were more focused on having girls talk about boys, or go shopping, or other stereotypical things that producers thought girls would like. So it's nice to see a show taking its cast and characters more seriously than the stereotypical girls' cartoons that me and many others have come to know. For a 22-minute special, I have to say the animation is pretty good for the time period. I am willing to admit that while this show was intended to just be a toy commercial, and looking at the animation compared to other 80s cartoons at the time, it doesn't really stand out. However, I do think that for the minimal budget this show was given, I do think that it does look like there was more effort put into it than more other popular cartoons like Transformers or He-Man, where you can find a lot more animation errors which do stick out more once you pay attention to the episodes of those shows. I do think that the standout designs of the special are of the villains and his minions, as well as the backgrounds like that of Midnight Castle. I also want to give credit that the songs are pretty good as well. I wouldn't say that these are songs I'd be humming to myself, or that they're as good as the ones in Friendship is Magic, but I do think that they have a charm that does make the special pretty cute and memorable. And yes, that does include that song. Before I mention the big issue with the special, I do want to complain about the DVD package I got from Shout Factory, as it has one annoying problem that I can't stand when it comes to the release of certain DVDs. All of the episodes are out of order. From what I was able to find, the way the episodes are arranged on this DVD is because of the fact that this was how the show was released after the movie came out, which is annoying when you have someone who might want to get into the series and they have to Google which episodes came out first, and to me that's just a little annoying. I get that Shout Factory did this because it was how the series was originally ordered in its original release, but I feel like they could have made it easier for newcomers to this show like myself by putting the episodes in the order they were aired. As for the special itself, I do agree with most fans that the pacing is atrocious. The special might only be 22 minutes long, but it goes by so fast that we never get to see the characters develop or learn anything about them except their special abilities or how the magical wizard of Ponyland got the magic MacGuffin to defeat the villain. If they had slowed down the pacing of the special, or maybe extended it to 45 minutes, I would have enjoyed it a lot more, and I think it would have stood out a lot more. For the introduction to the first generation of My Little Pony, I do think that this special doesn't hold up as much compared to other cartoons of the era. The pacing is too fast, and outside of the villain and a select few of the main cast, not all of the characters are memorable. But I will admit that there are some things to like in this special. The designs of the villains are amazing and unique, the music is nice to listen to, and the backgrounds are very vibrant and different compared to the ones I've seen from other 80s cartoons. And despite these shortcomings, the show did get a lot better with time, which did give us much more memorable characters and a pretty decent movie. Overall, I give My Little Pony Escape from Midnight Castle a 6 out of 10. If you're looking for another good MLP series after finishing Friendship is Magic, this is a good place to start. You'll just have to wait a bit before you get to the really good stuff. Thanks for watching, I'm Dr. Waluigi, and remember, don't judge a book by its cover, cause you'll never know what's inside. Good night, everyone.